Did you know you can make your AC 2 times colder with easy-to-do tricks? Millions of car owners think they need expensive repairs when their AC isn't as cold as before. That's simply not true. In this video, I'll expose 15 hidden tricks that will make your AC blow ice-cold air. These tricks are easy to do, and some are completely free. Let's dive right in. Tip number 15. Remove dirt from the condenser. Like a typical air conditioner, your car's AC works by turning hot air into cold air. The condenser is critical to that process. It removes hot air from the refrigerant so that your car stays cool. If your condenser isn't doing its job, it might be damaged. However, more than likely, it's just dirty. Because it is situated at the front of the car in front of the fans, a lot of debris and bugs get sucked into it. When this happens, the heat from the condenser causes the bugs to melt on it. This prevents the condenser from properly dissipating heat. Not only will this prevent your car from being cool, but it could also force the compressor to work overtime. If your compressor gives out, you're looking at an average repair bill of $1,200. To prevent this, you'll need a pressure hose and a brush. Let the car cool off for a few minutes before you clean it. You don't want your skin touching that hot metal. At medium pressure, blast off as much dirt as you can. Then use the brush to get rid of any bugs or stubborn bits. Once you're done, leave the condenser to dry off completely before you drive it again. Your AC will be noticeably cooler after this, but there's still some more cleaning to be done. This next one will 100% shock you. Tip number 14. Let the hot air out first. One popular myth that might be costing you hundreds of dollars is pre-cooling. It's a hot day, so you turn on the car AC for about 10 to 15 minutes before you drive so that it gets cold. While this does work, it's not very efficient. It puts unnecessary strain on your compressor and your fuel consumption goes up. The AC uses roughly half a gallon of fuel for every hour it idles. The better option is to get into your car, switch on the AC to the lowest setting, and roll all the windows down. Leave the windows down for about 15 seconds, which is how long it takes for the AC to kick in. Next, crank the fan speed up to the highest. Once the car begins to cool, roll up the front windows quickly. Raise the rear windows up, but leave a bit of space. After another 15 seconds, you can then close them completely. Once the car is cool, it's time for a secret tip so good, it'll change your driving habits forever. You'd be surprised by this next one. Tip number 13, turn off recirculation at first. This is one of the most misunderstood and misused parts of your car's HVAC system. Here's the thing, when you first get into your volcanic car, do not hit recirculation immediately. When the weather is scorching and your cabin air can reach 130 to 160 degrees, the system keeps recooling this superheated air, which drastically slows down the cooling process. Instead, turn it off for the first 2 to 3 minutes to allow fresh air to flush out the heat. Studies show this can reduce initial cooling time by up to 40%. Once the air feels reasonably cool, then switch to recirculation mode. The main benefit is that it recirculates the already cooled air in the car. It cools your car down quicker and does a great job of keeping musky smells out. For example, if you're parked in traffic, this button will prevent nasty fumes from getting into your car. Another advantage of the button is that it can reduce your fuel consumption. Some sources estimate you burn 10% less fuel because the HVAC doesn't work as hard. But here's what most drivers miss. There's a cleaning trick that will not only boost your cooling capacity, but also ensure you're not inhaling anything toxic. Tip number 12, spray Lysol into the AC inlet. The AC inlet at the bottom of the windshield is where air comes in to cool your car. If you often park under trees or go off-roading, leaves and other debris can get stuck in the holes. Unless you clean this often, this dirt will attract moisture. If your AC hasn't been blowing properly and the smell has been terrible, this should be the first place you look. If you have a mold situation, here's what you need to do. First, turn on your AC fan to the lowest level and roll your windows down. Next, spray some Lysol or any other AC disinfectant into the inlet, which leads directly to the plenum. The fan will pull the disinfectant out of the vents and get rid of any bacterial growth. For this process to work, you should remove your cabin filter first. The fan will pull it through the system and evict those bacterial squatters. Your AC will smell fresh and blow much colder after this simple trick. Tip number 11, refill your refrigerant. Did you know that car refrigerant or Freon doesn't expire and can last forever? This means that in a closed system, you never have to top up the refrigerant. Unfortunately, A perfectly sealed system is nearly impossible. Eventually, the Freon will begin to leak. If it's not too bad, all you need to do is top up the refrigerant. If refrigerant is 10 to 15% low, cooling efficiency can drop by up to 40%. You can get a top-up can for under $10. If you go to a mechanic to put some refrigerant in, they'll try to upsell you on a condenser repair or some other scam. Even without it, an AC recharge can cost as much as $300. Instead, buy a recharge kit for $40 and do it yourself. It is a straightforward process, and you definitely don't need to pay a pro. Just make sure you buy R134A instead of R1234YF. Sure, it's slightly better for the environment, but it costs 20 times more. Plus, the old stuff is still great and doesn't hurt the ozone layer. Before we get to the ones that makes your AC like brand new, do me a favor, hit that like button. We did a ton of research for this, and it actually helps us keep making car tricks content like this. Now let's talk about how to point your vents. Tip number 10, point vents the right way. Look, I get it. You're melting, and you want that cold air blasting your eyeballs. But here's the thing, you're doing it all wrong. When you aim those vents straight at yourself, you're basically creating a tiny ice cave for your face, while the rest of your car stays hotter than a jalapeno's armpit. The secret is to point your side vents toward the windows and your center vents toward the roof. Physics 101, people. Cold air sinks, so let it cascade down naturally. This circulates the air throughout the entire cabin instead of just cooling your nostrils. Plus, you won't end up looking like a raisin from all that direct cold air drying out your skin. This simple redirect can improve overall cabin cooling by up to 15%. Your passengers will thank you, and your AC won't have to work overtime trying to compensate for poor air circulation. Think about it. When you blast air directly at yourself, you're creating a localized cold zone while the rest of your car remains a sauna. It's like trying to cool a house by standing next to one fan instead of using the whole HVAC system. The goal is even temperature distribution, not creating a personal Arctic bubble. But here's the catch. While you're adjusting those vents, there's another simple maintenance task that takes less than 5 minutes and will make a world of difference. Tip number 9, replace the cabin air filter. Here's another great tip with multiple money-saving benefits. The cabin air filter is responsible for keeping pollutants out of your car. This includes dust, pollen, smog, and even foul odors. The cabin air filter also catches leaf particles and small pebbles. As a result, it gets dirty fairly quickly. When that happens, the AC has to work much harder to cool. Not only that, but it can also become a breeding ground for mold and bacteria. A clogged filter can reduce AC airflow by up to 30%. Cabin air filters are meant to be replaced every 12,000 to 15,000 miles. However, you don't have to pay a mechanic $50 to do it for you. It's easy to DIY, and it takes less than 5 minutes. If you drive a modern car, you'll find the cabin air filter behind the glove box. There are loads of videos that will show you how, or you can check your manual. If spending $20 a year can make your car feel much colder, it is absolutely worth it. Most people don't even know this filter exists until their AC starts performing like it's powered by a hamster on a broken wheel. By the time you notice reduced airflow, that filter has been choking your system for months. It's like trying to breathe through a dirty sock while running a marathon. Replace the filter regularly and you'll avoid both weak cooling and expensive motor replacements. This next one will surprise you. Tip number 8. Lower fan speed after cooling. This one's going to mess with your head. After your car cools down initially, lower your fan speed. I know. It sounds like telling someone to drive slower to get there faster. But here's the science. When air moves slower through the evaporator coil, it has more time to absorb cold. This can make the air feel 3 to 6 degrees colder at the vents. It's like the difference between chugging a cold beer and sipping it. One actually makes you feel the temperature. Start with high fan speed to get things moving, then dial it back to medium or low once you feel that initial chill. Your AC isn't being lazy, it's being efficient. This trick is especially effective during highway driving where your AC has been running for a while. Once everything is cool, dropping to medium fan speed actually makes the air feel colder while using less power. Your fuel economy improves too, since the blower motor isn't working as hard. It's a win-win that most drivers never discover because they assume maximum fan equals maximum cold. You'd be very much shocked by this next one. Tip number 7. Get window tints or UV film. This is the secret that keeps on giving. Professional window tints can block up to 60% of solar heat and over 99% of UV rays. That's like giving your car built-in sunglasses that work 24/7. Tinted cars stay 15 to 25 degrees cooler when parked, which means your AC doesn't have to fight solar radiation like it's battling the sun itself. With reduced solar load, your AC cools faster and stays cooler even on long drives. Less strain on your system equals colder air, longer component life, and better fuel economy. Modern tinting technology has come a long way. Ceramic and metallic films provide superior heat rejection without interfering with electronics or looking cheap. Make sure you follow local laws for tint percentages. Getting pulled over defeats the purpose of staying cool. But done right, this is the single best long-term investment for AC performance that doesn't involve replacing your entire system. The beauty of window tinting is that it's a one-time investment that pays dividends for years. Unlike cabin filters that need regular replacement or refrigerant that can leak out, quality tint just keeps working 24/7. It's like having a personal assistant that never takes a day off and never asks for a raise. When done professionally, tinted windows can actually increase your car's resale value while making every drive more comfortable. Think about it. Every single time you park in the sun, your tint is working to keep your interior cooler. Over months and years, that adds up to hundreds of hours of reduced AC strain and fuel savings. Plus, your dashboard and seats won't fade or crack from UV exposure. You're protecting your investment while staying comfortable. That's what I call smart car ownership. But here's what they don't tell you. Even if you don't have window tints yet, there's another simple parking trick that can save you from entering a mobile oven. Tip number 6. Park facing away from the sun. Did you know that your car's internal temperature gets much hotter than the temperature outside? When it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit, your car can reach as high as 118 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's just within 40 minutes of parking directly under the sun. So when it's time to cool your car, your AC will work twice as hard. This means more strain on your compressor, more strain on the battery, and more fuel consumed. On hot days, you can use up to 20% more fuel running your AC than on mild days. One simple trick is to park in the shade or park facing away from direct sunlight. If you can't find shade, position your car so the sun hits the rear instead of the windshield. Your windshield is the biggest heat conductor in your vehicle. After an hour in the sun, your car's temperature will be at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. However, if you use a windshield sunshade or park strategically, the car's temperature can be reduced by as much as 40 degrees Fahrenheit. You can get a sunshade from Walmart for as little as $8. So what's stopping you? This simple parking adjustment costs you nothing but can save you gallons of fuel over the summer months. Pay attention to where the sun will be during the time you're parked. Morning sun comes from the east, afternoon from the west. Position your car accordingly. Even parking under a tree or next to a tall building can make a massive difference. Your future self will thank you when you're not climbing into an oven on wheels. Trust me, you'll be shocked by this one. Tip number 5. Don't pre-cool with windows closed. One popular myth that might be costing you hundreds of dollars is sitting in your parked car with the windows up while the AC runs. The temperature in a closed car can rise to over 140 degrees in just 30 minutes in the sun. If you turn on the AC immediately with all windows closed, the system has to battle extreme interior heat, which drastically slows down the cooling process. Rolling down all the windows for just 30 to 60 seconds before cranking the AC lets the trapped heat escape quickly. Venting it out drops the temperature by 20 to 30 degrees almost immediately. Starting your AC after this heat escape means it doesn't have to work as hard. In real-world use, this tip can improve the time it takes to feel cool by 25 to 40% depending on external conditions. Try it once, and you'll never go back to doing it the wrong way. This prevents unnecessary strain on your compressor and your fuel consumption from going through the roof. Most drivers think they're being smart by starting the AC right away, but they're actually making it work 3 times harder. Give your car those precious 30 seconds to breathe and you'll see the difference immediately. It's one of those simple tricks that makes such a huge impact. You'll wonder why nobody ever told you about it before. The trapped air in your car is literally hotter than the outside air. Why would you try to cool 140-degree air when you could be cooling 90-degree air instead? Those 30 seconds of window down time save you 5 to 10 minutes of waiting for the AC to catch up. Do the math. It's a no-brainer. This next one is shocking. Tip number 4, close upper vents at first. Here's a trick most people never think about. When you first start cooling your car, close the upper dashboard vents and only use the lower vents. Why? Because heat rises and cold air sinks. By forcing all the cold air to come from the lower vents, you're working with physics instead of against it. The cold air will naturally sink and push the hot air up and out through any small gaps or the ventilation system. Once your car reaches a comfortable temperature after a few minutes, you can open all the vents for even distribution. This technique can reduce your initial cooling time by up to 20% because you're creating better airflow circulation. It's like filling a pool from the bottom instead of the top. You get better results faster. Most drivers blast all vents at once and wonder why it takes forever to cool down. Don't be most drivers. This simple adjustment costs you nothing, but saves you minutes of sweating. The science behind this is simple, but powerful. You're creating a natural convection current that works with gravity instead of fighting it. You're literally using the laws of thermodynamics to your advantage. Hot air naturally rises, so let it escape while the cold air does its job from below. Once you've achieved a comfortable temperature after a few minutes, open all the vents for better distribution throughout the cabin. Timing is everything with this technique. But here's the kicker. If you really want to speed up the cooling process, this next trick is pure genius and takes about 10 seconds. Tip number 3, the door pumping technique. Here's a free trick that'll make your AC work 40% faster, and it takes less time than checking your Instagram notifications. Roll down just the passenger window, then open and close your driver door like you're fanning a fire. The door acts like a giant pump, forcing out 2/3 of that trapped heat in seconds. It looks weird, but it works like magic. This technique is based on simple air displacement physics. Every time you close that door, you're creating pressure that pushes hot air out through the open window. It's way more effective than just opening windows because you're actively moving air instead of waiting for it to drift out naturally. Do this about 5 to 7 times and you'll notice the difference immediately. Even better, this works even when your car is parked. You can cool your car down significantly before you even start the engine. Do this for 30 seconds and you'll save your AC system minutes of hard work. The best part is you'll look like you know some secret NASA technique while everyone else is just sitting there suffering. People in parking lots might give you strange looks, but who cares? You'll be the one sitting in Arctic comfort while they're still waiting for their AC to kick in. This door pumping method moves air 5 times faster than passive ventilation. It's pure physics, and physics doesn't lie. You'll be surprised by this next one. Tip number 2, use key fob to open windows. Did you know that many modern cars allow you to roll down all the windows using your key fob? On most vehicles, you hold down the unlock button for about 3 to 5 seconds, and all 4 windows will roll down automatically. Some cars even open the sunroof. Use this feature when you're walking toward your car on a hot day. By the time you reach the driver's door, a significant amount of hot air has already escaped. This is especially useful in parking lots where you can see your car from a distance. The 30 to 60 seconds it takes you to walk to your car is enough time to vent out a massive amount of heat. When you finally get in, your car will be 20 to 30 degrees cooler than if you'd opened it the traditional way. Then you can follow the previous tips. Get in, start the AC on low, and let it run for 15 seconds before cranking it up. This combination of techniques will have your car ice cold in record time. It's one of those hidden features that most people never discover even after years of ownership. Check your owner's manual to see if your car has this feature. You might be pleasantly surprised. Not all cars have this feature, but many vehicles from 2010 onward do. Some brands require you to turn the key twice in the door lock, while others use the key fob method. Test it in your driveway first to see if your car supports it. Once you know it works, you'll use this feature every single hot day for the rest of your car ownership. Now for the number 1 tip. Tip number 1, seal radiator to condenser gap. Here's a secret that'll change everything. In many cars, there's a gap between the radiator and the condenser. When your cooling fans turn on, some of that air actually escapes through this gap, instead of flowing through both the radiator and condenser like it should. This means your condenser isn't getting maximum airflow, which reduces its ability to cool the refrigerant. The fix is simple, but incredibly effective. You can use foam weather stripping or rubber sealing material to close this gap. This forces all the air from the cooling fans to flow through both the condenser and radiator, dramatically improving cooling efficiency. Some drivers have reported temperature drops of 5 to 10 degrees just from this simple modification. You can pick up foam weather stripping from any hardware store for under $10. Just make sure the material is heat resistant since it'll be near your engine. Cut it to size and carefully install it around the edges where the gap exists. This is one of those modifications that mechanics don't talk about because it's too easy and too cheap. They'd rather have you coming back to recharge your refrigerant every year, but now you know better. This mod takes about 20 minutes to install and lasts for years. You're basically forcing your cooling system to work at 100% efficiency instead of letting precious airflow escape. Many performance enthusiasts do this modification first because it's low cost and high impact. If it's good enough for track cars, it's definitely good enough for your daily driver. How many did you already know? Drop a comment below and let me know which one surprised you the most. If this video just saved you from expensive mechanic visits, or made you realize you can do tricks to make AC colder yourself, hit that subscribe button for more money-saving automotive content that gets straight to the point. Your wallet will thank you. Now, there are more tricks that mechanics hide from you, but allow you to save thousands easily. Kindly click this video. Trust me, you won't regret it.